just the third time in college football history a single game will feature two Heisman-winning quarterbacks. It is the Rose Bowl, part of the college football playoff semifinal. Number 2, Oregon, and number 3, Florida State. Welcome to Los Angeles, everybody. Bonnie Bernstein alongside Pete Fiutak and former Noles great Bryant McFadden. And we're going to do some predictions, gentlemen. Let's start with the aforementioned Heisman winners and Jameis Winston and Marcus Mariota. Who gets your edge, Pete?
Oh, I think Jameis Winston's going to have a humongous game. I think he's going to be ultra-focused. I think he's going to be fantastic. Mariota's going to be fine. Winston's going to be better.
Yeah, of course I got to go with Jameis. Pete, you made the right decision.
Shocking.
Right decision,
This
of
is
course.
going to be the Homer segment.
It's not going to be Homer. It's going to be the honest segment here. Jameis has been here before. This isn't his first rodeo, so he knows how to manage his emotions in this football game. And a lot of times when players play in these huge games, atmospheres, they don't know how to manage their mentality when starting off in a football game. So I understand that Jameis definitely would take advantage of the opportunity, and hopefully Marcus can start off kind of slow.
We have to manage his mentality here in a minute.
Well, it certainly won't hurt Winston that he's not going to have to face one of the best cornerbacks in the country in Ifo Ekpe-Olumu as well, who, of course, is. I actually said it right. He's gone with an ACL injury. How about the two freshman running backs, guys? Royce Freeman, Dalvin Cook has really come on later in the season for Florida State. Who gets your edge here?
I love Dalvin Cook, but I do think Winston's going to have a big game on one side of the ball because I think the Florida State defense is going to hold down Mariota on the other side of the ball, which means I think their running backs are going to run wild. I think Freeman's going to get free. He's going to have the bigger game, more yards. Cook's going to be okay. Freeman's going to be better.
I got to go Dalvin. Dalvin has been phenomenal this season. He has been unbelievable. He's really exceeded all the expectations for him coming into Tallahassee. And I think when you think about Florida State defensive line, starting to get healthy now, Eddie Gold and Mario Edwards Jr. into the fold, clearly two guys that will be playing on Sunday. It's going to be very, very difficult for them to have a consistent running game facing this Florida State defense.
And Niles Lawrence Stample coming back from that pec injury back in September against Clemson. So you're right. The D-line for Florida State getting healthy. The Noles defense in general getting healthy. So let's talk about defense. Florida State, Oregon arguably played its best game of the season in the Pac-12 championship against Arizona. What say you, Pete?
I'm going to take none of the above. I don't think either defense is stopping
That's
either
not
one.
A choice. It's not A, B, or C.
I will say Oregon's going to hold serve once late in the game, maybe. I think Oregon's going to have a little bit better. I think that defensive front is going to get to Jameis throughout the game, but I don't think either one's stopping either. I think this is going to be an up-and-down shootout. I'm going neither one.
So you're saying track meet.
I'm saying there's
It's not A, Florida State, B, Oregon, or C, track meet.
You're
going with C.
No, I'm saying the over. Lots of fun.
What do you think, Brian?
I think initially it's going to be a situation where both defenses has to understand what the offense is trying to do. And I think with Florida State, we have seen time and time again the first half and the second half is totally different.
Yep.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see the same thing because, of course, being able to prepare for this Oregon offense, you get extra amount of time because of the bowl game. But yet and still, I expect for Oregon to be able to have a few good plays here and there, but definitely Coach Charles Kelly and that defensive staff there will make adjustments. So in the second half will be more favorable for Florida State.
Both these coaching staffs are really good at adjusting, so you will see a different game in the second half. But again, no one's stopping.
Well, and the good news for Florida State too is that while they haven't seen a tempo team like Oregon this year, they faced that same sort of tempo team in Auburn last year. So it's not going to smack them in the face like it did last year.
They're not going to be conditioned a year out from that game, though.
Well, maybe not physically, but mentally they will be much better conditioned. How about final scores?
I'm going to say 38-34 Oregon. I think they hold on late, and that's maybe too low. I really do think this is going to be a wild, crazy, back-and-forth shootout, and I think Marcus Mariota comes through very late. I think they wear down. It's the tempo. It's not going to get them early. It's going to get them late. They're going to be huffing and puffing. Mariota comes through, and I'm guessing he's not going to agree with me here.
Unfortunately, I think somebody was drinking Jack Daniels for breakfast.
And?
It could have been you.
Like
That's not a bad thing, though.
It goes well with oatmeal, I've heard.
Yes,
I heard.
And I'm still picking Oregon.
I got to go Florida State 34-21. That's
wow.
I've been saying that number all week. Yeah, 34-21. I think the offense will finally start clicking. And I think this is going to be one of the very few games that we have seen all year that Florida State played 4 quarters of football.
Yeah, I will say this. I would not be shocked anyway if Florida State pulls this thing off. This might be a different team. We don't know what we're getting. We don't know if we're getting a fresher team. We don't know if this team, the defense all of a sudden has their legs and they look like they're shot out of a cannon. So I won't be shocked by any outcome.
I'm not going to give you a final score prediction, but what I will predict is that Oregon will win in the attendance category because you know all those Florida State fans came out to Pasadena for the national championship last year. Dallas is a heck of a lot closer. Yep. They've been there, done that with the Pasadena thing. Bryant McFadden, Pete Fiutak, appreciate the time. Campus Insiders continues its coverage of the Rose Bowl and the college football playoff.